Hey everybody, good morning.
Good morning.
Coffee
We
cups in hand, let's go.
still can we do the cheers?
Maybe.
Oh, we did it. Look at
Yes.
us. Look at that what an extra hour of sleep does.
I know, I feel great. I hope everybody else does, but let's get this party started.
We
Let's do it.
definitely have some of the greatest fans, and it doesn't go unrecognized.
But first I tell her run it. I've been tearing through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex.
Can you guys hear me now?
There it is.
Yes!
Hey, there we go.
My mom, by the way.
Oh, hi, Mom.
And I lost my mind. I'm like, yeah, baby, let's go, let's go.
I like this. I like it. There we go.
There we go.
Man, things got weird.
Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Nigeria.
I don't want to give up everything, but
Those
everybody
London boys don't come
Do
to
it.
play, you shouldn't worry.
Y'all team.
Smooth, find yourself, they getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain.
I've heard of a
I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name.
I'm so ready for today.
I am ready for today. We need some good juju.
We're gonna
after
get it.
What we had Monday.
I absolutely agree. Good morning to everybody in the chat so far. Meg, how's it going, girl? Guys, Tyler, he should be mooning his honey right now, as I said the other day, but he is in the chat. Hey, Tyler, we missed you. CBJ, hey, good morning.
I mean, we miss Tyler like one of us might miss Tyler less than the other one. Because when Tyler's not here, I get to hang out with you.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing okay, Tyler. I'm just kidding. But we do miss you.
Nothing's
Just kidding.
burned down yet.
Tigers Talk girls, hey.
Good morning.
I'm sure that's my beloved Jess. Guys, this morning we're very excited. I actually spent the morning getting ready, listening to this man's comedy. I actually have a question for him based on that here in just a second. He's also one of the madmen behind the iconic Cincy shirts. Some of the coolest gear you're going to find out there. Yes, peep it. Bridget, show it off.
I feel like I need to figure out which way do I get out of the banner. Little Miss Game Day.
Yes.
And I will be running around all day just like that.
So everybody, if you would help us welcome the one, the only Josh Sneed to the morning crowd.
Good morning. Good
Welcome,
morning.
welcome.
Thank you for
Morning.
letting me come in on a day where I get an extra hour of sleep.
You're welcome. We planned it that way.
That's so nice of you.
He paid the extra $25.99 this morning
right.
to be a guest on the 1 hour delayed episode.
That's right.
So how you doing this morning, Josh? You ready for the Panthers game or what?
I am ready. After I sign off with you all, I'll head to the stadium and looking forward to a great day, great weather day, a good
Is it?
chance to get the taste out of the mouth from Monday. That's
Yeah.
like the thing with football, right? The thing that I love about baseball is that there's 182 games. So if there's like a terrible performance or like a gut punch loss or something that has me sad, I got to wait 24 hours to like cleanse myself of it. But with football, you got to wait a week. So like whenever we have a game like we had on Monday, it just sticks with me like all week. And I can't wait until the next opportunity to like cleanse. Right. And I'm hoping that's what today is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
with the weather here, it's like I'm looking out my window. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's supposed to be like 70, 72. It is just perfection.
Awesome. I mean, sounds like a beautiful day to like you said, Josh, cleanse the palate.
Yeah.
But you're right. You know, that's true. Like, you do have to kind of suffer through it. Like, I've buried myself in old Burrow Chase highlight reels to make the tears stop.
That didn't make them like turn into waterfalls.
You know, it's like watching those Sarah McLachlan commercials, like, and I Will Remember You is like cute in the background, and you've got like the box of Kleenex, and but like, you know,
and it was only 2
things.
weeks ago. Like, you could have been watching highlights from 2 weeks ago. Like, remember when we were good?
I know. Who said I wasn't? So whatever. So yeah, so you get to go to the game today. Nice.
Yeah, we're season ticket holders, so I don't miss a home game.
Right.
As long as I'm in town, we're there.
Awesome. So you'll be tailgating. I know Bridget's heading down to the tailgate here in a second. Before we start diving into like what this matchup's going to be today, I have a question for you, Josh.
All right.
And for you, Bridget, and for everybody in the chat, honestly. So I was watching, the clip I was watching of you this morning was the one about people watching.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I will link and send out on Twitter later today because it's just good times and super relatable. But you were talking about people watching in Gatlinburg.
Yes.
Which, for anybody that's been to Gatlinburg, or I don't know, less than 24 hours, less than an hour, honestly, you know what kind of people watching that is. So my question is, for everybody in the chat, like, first of all, what's your best people watching experience possibly at a game? But I want to ask you guys, so Gatlinburg, the airport, and NFL stadiums, what's your best people watching place?
Oh my gosh. I feel like nothing beats Gatlinburg unless you're at Myrtle Beach, which is like the redneck Riviera, right? That's like the ocean version of Gatlinburg.
That's literally what I call it.
I don't know. I mean, Bengal or I guess fan watching at the games. I mean, that's, you know, that's the same thing every week, right? You're going to be like, there's the drunk guy, there's the couple that's fighting, you know, and it's like, that's the same. Like, I like the wild card of the airport in Gatlinburg, I think.
Yeah.
See, I think I have to go with Josh on the airport. Like, all kinds go to the airport, and the airport seems to liberate people of like their shoes and their dignity, and in some ways we're all equal at the airport and its misery, and I think you get to really see some stuff.
Yeah.
County fairs, though.
County fairs is a good one. And the other
Oh.
thing about the airport that's nice is that they come to you, right? Like, you get to your gate, you just park, and then it's just like a parade for you as they walk by, right?
Like the Atlanta airport, I think
Oh
that
my
might be
gosh.
one. Like, if I'm going to have to pick an airport, it's probably Atlanta.
For sure. 100%.
I think that the sheer pressure, there's something that TSA lines and having to partially disrobe, get things out of pockets, deal with baby carriers, possibly get felt up. People are staring at you. You're trying to do your best impersonation of not a terrorist, even though you've never been a terrorist. You feel like you're definitely a possible terrorist when you're going through the line. There's something about that pressure that breaks people. People get mean. They say terrible things to their significant others, and they drop things. It's just beautiful.
It is.
And I
It
have
really
been
is.
that person. Like, I've absolutely been that person. But
And I'm the person sneaking photos of you to share on the internet.
yeah, I've heard.
You know, IKEA then, if we're talking like where do you, like, because 30 Rock did that episode about like couples just breaking up and relationships going up in flames. Like, IKEA is a good place for that. Not so much like diversity of people watching, but, you know, you really want to see people flounder.
Yeah.
And be at their worst.
Yes.
Just go
Yes.
sit in an
I think that's why
IKEA.
there's $1 ice cream at the end of it, because they know the fights people are going to have before they get there. It's like, let's give them a little something to, you know, talk it over and patch things up before they leave the store.
Or
That
a
is-
cheap thing to throw in someone's face. I mean, There's a lot of ways to look at
if you
it.
just give me the Swedish meatballs, it shuts me up. But that's midway through. That was one of my worst. I have some PTSD that is unresolved that I didn't realize till you brought this up, Bridget. Like, I wish you had not brought up IKEA. Like, I remember
apologize.
spending hours in an IKEA the very first time I ever went in there, and you like are piecing together all these like ideas because everything's like so modular, and so like you go through and then like you start backtracking through the miles that you've already went through the store, like, oh, this goes with that, and then at the end you're hit with a huge warehouse. Like, what the do I do? Like, how does this work? And then I just felt defeated and bought 0 things.
Well, because the thing you have to watch for, right, if you're buying furniture, oftentimes, like, the gluten shop, like, is going to have 3 parts, or the Stegenvi, or whatever the heck this stuff is called. So you go, and it's like, you got to go to 3 different aisles to get 3 different boxes. You get the first 2, and you're like, I killed it. And then you go to the last one, and the stupid thing's out of stock.
Listen,
and you're like, how could I not? Like, no one can help me.
I can see you thriving in a place like that because you're very decisive and you can make a decision. For an indecisive person who has a tinge of ADHD, IKEA is not the place. But county fairs, I want to go back to county fairs. There's something about a what do they call those? The pools, the tractor pools. Like, that brings out something very primal.
Oh yeah, demolition derby. Yeah.
Yeah. In people, and then you add like some funnel cakes and then some rides that people should not be riding because they're held together with like old gum that someone chewed, and hope and prayers. Like, it's a fun place.
Yeah, the thoughts and prayers tilt-a-whirl.
Yeah, right. You may not make it to the other side. Yeah. So anyway, people watching, also get your pictures, as Josh, I will tweet that clip out later, but he highly recommends getting pictures and footage of any great people watching. I expect you all to do that today when you're out there tailgating and at the game.
I say that as a joke when I do the bit, like, if you take pictures when you people watch, please send them to me. And I just use that as like I make a collection out of this, and I like talk about a couple of the people watching experiences I've had. But because that clip went kind of viral, I get people emailing me people watching photos all the time, and it's kind of glorious. I don't ever post them online, but my inbox gets like, hey man, I thought of you, I was at Walmart, or I was in Vegas, or I was wherever, and I check this guy out, and it's always like mullets or rhinestones, or stomachs hanging over some type of sweatpant. I mean, it's pretty
I see a coffee table book in your future.
Yes. That bit is like the gift that keeps on giving. Good for you, dude.
I'd have to publish it under a fake name.
Yeah, you need like
blur out some faces, I guess. Yeah,
a ghost publisher, ghost writer. Good morning, Dalton. Good morning, Lisa.
Dalton, what's up, dude?
House. Yeah, Dalton's famous, right?
Yeah, he's awesome.
His work
is amazing.
It really is. Shout out to his work. Somebody freaking hire him, please, be Bengals, because I swear it's at this point, Dalton, that if I saw you designing for another NFL team, I would be heartbroken.
It hurt a little bit. Mm-hmm. You're right.
It would
You're
sting.
100% right.
It would sting. All right. So I think what we can maybe do is go ahead and start talking about today's matchup, guys. Panthers. Good old Panthers. So
Kitty Bowl today.
It is a little bit of a cat fight in the jungle. And that's not original, but I still said it. So,
we don't get paid for being original.
I don't know. I try sometimes, but even that extra hour can't totally save me. But what do you guys think about today's matchup? Are you ready? How do you feel about the Panthers and our guys today? Bridget, you start.
All right. So I feel like anything is possible, but can I share? I feel like this is like a group therapy session. I want to first share what I'm feeling nervous about. And that is a backup quarterback who's throwing dimes, throwing long dimes with a Bengals depleted secondary. So that's making me nervous. And I also know we've got a quarterback who can throw dimes and still has T, Boyd, Hurst. So I'm feeling like today's going to be a shootout. We'll see.
Really?
But that's how I think there's going to be a lot of yardage.
Yeah. I think this Panthers team is like the embodiment of any given Sunday, right? They trade Christian McCaffrey. They have terrible losses. They're going to play a good Bucks team, and then they dominate the Bucks. You know what I mean? And it's just like no one would have picked the Panthers to beat the Bucks. So I feel like they're a team that you just don't know who's going to show up. And I feel like so far this year, that's kind of been our thing too. So I think it's really just going to be like who shows up today. But the depleted secondary is very scary with Cheeto out, but at least we've had a full week of practices with people to play that position. They weren't thrown into that position in the game. So I'm hoping that we're prepared, mentally at least for where the guys are going to be playing today. I'd love to see the running game get going. I'd love to see Chris Evans. Like that one is the biggest head scratcher for me this whole year, honestly, but especially with Jamar down is like, why aren't we seeing more Chris Evans? Because when he's in, it's like, and in the preseason, he is lights out. So I'm hoping he gets to, some more reps, but I think the home crowd will be amped up. I think everybody there knows that we're in a position that's not a must win, but it feels like a must win, until we can get Jamar back and let this offensive line gel some more. So I think the crowd will play a big part in today. I like the Bengals winning today, but I agree with you, Bridget, that it's going to be a shootout for sure.
Yeah. Oh, guys. I guess I'm just on edge and I'm nervous every game at this point. And it's not my fault. That's where y'all have put me, Bengals, right now.
That's right. It's fair.
It's fair. I mean, I don't know what you expect from me. But yeah, I can see it being a shootout, sure. Especially with like our defense taking so many hits on the injury report. Hilton's out today. So like that's very upsetting and makes me really nervous. You know how much I love Mike Hilton. Good morning, Clint, by the way. But yeah, it's the backup quarterback thing Bridget mentioned that like is very upsetting. I think if you're a Bengals fan that you've learned to like get a little stressed out about a backup quarterback, and at least he's played already. So maybe, he's not a surprise. He's not a total surprise. We've got film on him. So I'm hoping that's in our favor. But I guess the intangible is like this. Like I believe in Joe Burrow. I believe in a Joe Burrow that he got railed last week in the press and in the media. It was a very disheartening, upsetting game for him. And I think he comes back with a bit of a vengeance and just kind of wills it to happen. I'm interested what everybody has to say about Josh's comments about Chris Evans, though, because I have been writing that or like at least like lifting that banner since a week or two ago. If Joe is struggling, like let's mix it up a little bit. If Mixon's struggling, like why not rotate in some other people, see if different looks catch defenses off guard. He's so dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see a little bit more Evans, and I don't know if everyone will agree with me on this. I'd like to see a little bit more Pirine.
Yeah.
I feel like Pirine can really step in and make things happen, especially was it the Thursday night game? What was the game where Joe was just really struggling? They put Pirine in for like multiple consecutive carries and he was just killing it.
Yeah, he got like 30 yards, yeah.
I think Pirine is powerful. So the Mixon we saw last year, I felt like was powerful, was finding holes, was making guys miss. I'm not seeing that as much this year, and I'm trying to figure out how much of it is Mixon needing to find different looks and how much of it is the O-line not run blocking for him. I mean, I imagine it's a mix of both, but I think Pirine can be really critical. Pirine is not my favorite for checkdowns. Like if Joe's going to have to throw to a running back, I prefer he throws to Mixon, but I think use Samaji to just like get his booty in
He's the
there
guy who
and-
should be plowing straight through, like
Yes.
running up.
Thank
Yes.
you. Yeah. It's almost like Mixon needs to find holes and he tries to be elusive and like find his holes where Pirine makes holes. He punches holes.
Yeah.
You know, and so you don't see Pirine like when Mixon gets loose and shakes loose, when he does find that daylight, like he's gone. That's where he really shines and excels and where he looks so great. But like with Pirine, you're not getting those long runs, but you're going to get good yardage. It feels like, you know, you're going to get the 3, 4, or 5 yards that you need to make that first down or to like get, you know, a good first down opportunity. But he punches holes. That's why he looks exciting to me. Because he just goes straight for the straight ahead, like north and south.
And how many plays this year have we needed 1 yard or 2 yards where that comes in handy? And because we weren't getting that 1 yard or 2 yard, then it's like he's going out of the shotgun. Now you need 8 yards to get 1 yard. And, you know, these like pitch outs to the right or, you know, trying to run up the gut from the shotgun. It's just like you're making it way harder on yourself to get these first downs that could completely change the pace of the game, you know. And that's when I want to see him in there, is just like get those 2 yards, get a new set of downs, because this shotgun, you know, to get 1 yard is not working.
Yeah, we're a very shotgun team, which is fine. I'm fine with that. But like to your point, in those situational moments, Pirine is a tool that we don't go to probably enough. It feels like we go to him out of desperation when we went to Mixon several times and it's not been working, or Mixon gets banged up a little bit, like, or isn't feeling great after play, like we throw him in. Like it's an afterthought, like, I'll throw Samaje in. But like now it's like, no, why don't we just like rotate them a little bit more? And then at the very least, it feels like it keeps defenses guessing a little bit. To Kane's question, I think everyone is overhyping PJ Walker. He had one good throw at the end. For the most part of that game, he was bad against an awful Falcons secondary. We got this day. Thank you, Kane.
I hope Kane's right.
Yeah.
I hope Kane's right, because I tell you what, as exciting as it is to win a close game, there was something really calming about that Falcons game a couple weeks ago where I was sitting and I was talking to the guy next to me and I was just like, this is really nice, right? To be in the third or fourth quarter and just be like, this is a fun day. This is a really nice day, you know, instead of like, oh my God, I can't believe we're down to the wire again.
The booty clenching games are just too frequent. I need the like, yeah, we got this. I could leave in the fourth quarter, but I won't, because I want to see the Bengals win sign plastered all over the Jumbotron. But it was nice to just feel in control. As someone who's a control freak and knows I can't control anything going on down there, it like gave me a sense that I could, like, we got this. So I would really like another one of those today.
Stress-free,
Stress-free, super zen.
Oh, they're such beautiful treats when we get them. So we get them so rarely, but when we do, God, they're good. I could have knitted a blanket during the end of that game and not missed a thing. Meg, by the way, she mentioned earlier Cincy shirts, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. Like maybe a Def Cincy shirts collaboration might be in the mix. Reach out to Josh
That'd be great.
later, Meg.
100%. I saw that, Meg. I would love to talk to you about it. We're actually working, hopefully at some point, with the Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired to do like a Braille kind of shirt too, with like some puffy ink that you could actually read. But that's I'm always on board with stuff like that, especially you know, charitable type stuff. Cincy Shirts loves to do that kind of stuff.
That's awesome. Meg says Walker isn't that elite of a QB, but he can run. So that's a point. We usually aren't good with QBs who can run. As long as we pressure him, Hubbard and Hendrickson all day, and we're good to go. Yeah, we're relying a lot on Hubbard and Hendrickson today, I think, to contain that guy and keep him in check. Dalton, our buddy Dalton, I'm worried about defensive end Brian Burns. Rams offered 2 first-round picks for him, and Panthers turned it down. He's crazy good edge rusher. He'll match up with Collins. If not, then Hakeem Adeniji. O-line, guys. Offensive frickin' line. Let's talk about it.
There's only 2 that make me extremely worried, and that's our boy Lyle Collins and Jonah Williams. I think Kappa, Karras, like
Olsen, yeah.
Volson, they're not Volson. I feel like Volson sometimes, he makes a mistake, and sometimes it's a very deadly mistake. But Lel consistently has not showed. Josh, I don't know if you know this. Whitney and I think we single-handedly pumped him up, but the night before the Saints game, and he showed out. So that's part of the problem. We haven't seen him. We need to
need access.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to be able to give him the you can do it. We got you.
Sorry, Collins. Sorry.
But I think Collins and Williams are the 2 that are making me a little nervous.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because he's the one of all of the 3 that we signed. He's the one that we were the most excited about getting, and I don't know if it's his back. I don't know what it is, but every week you just keep hearing people talk about, they just need more time to gel, because he didn't have a training camp either. And I'm just like, when is that week gonna come? Because that's the side that you got to protect the most. And I know him and Joe have a relationship, prior to being Bengals, but I'm just waiting for him to be like, okay, he's settled in and he's completely healthy. And it's just one thing I don't want to have to worry about when you're worrying about who's running the ball, what the play calling looks like, if we have a receiver out, that stuff can all be managed if you have faith in your line.
And Collins doesn't seem to practice consistently.
Right.
Because he's always nursing a bit of an injury.
I think in terms of gelling, you need the reps together, and I don't know. Hopefully he can.
Guys, we have to also address a little bit, and then we'll move to our picks for the week. So I don't keep Josh all day, because I could do that. I could absolutely hijack your day, Josh. But for lots of reasons. But Frank Pollock, we got to talk about Frank a little bit. And I love Frank Pollock. I have been talking about Frank Pollock and how excited I am for a long time now. But we have to get a little bit realistic about what's going on. We see these improvements in the O-line throughout the season, just to take 3 steps backwards. It feels like there's just the consistency hasn't really emerged yet. It's there's bright spots, and then we go back to old mistakes, and then the run game is not that great, and he's run game coordinator too, right? And he was supposed to Mixon was more excited than anybody when we brought Frank back for a reason. And so when do we start talking about Frank Pollock?
I don't know. I love what Zach Taylor has done. I love his demeanor. I think it was very refreshing from, the personality that Marvin Lewis had. And there were just, for my doubts last year, I feel like they went on that run and took him all the way to the Super Bowl, that it was kind of hard to pinpoint something on Zach Taylor, being the play caller though. I do what I shouldn't do, and I compare the play calling to other teams in the league that have a stud quarterback and a stud wide receiver and multiple weapons. And I see how few throws some of our elite players get, and how some of the play calling that doesn't get the ball out of Joe's hand in time, when it was just if you see that they're getting to him in 5 seconds, run a play that he's going to throw it in 4 seconds. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like those adjustments get made. So I tend to go the other way, towards the play calling versus Frank Pollock. But I think you make a really good point.
I mean, Bridget, go for it. I'm not saying this is where we start talking about Frank's no good. I'm not saying that. I still adore Frank. I'm still a huge fan. I'm just saying when do we start talking about it?
In my head, this whole season thus far is a series of dials. Like, what I've seen with fans is that there's a real desire to like hold things in the binary or hold polarities. It's either this or that. It's Zach's play calling, or Burrow did this, or the receivers weren't running the right routes and getting open. Like, if you took every component of the game and kind of thought about where you needed to tweak it, I think multiple components need tweaking. I think it's very reductive to try and go down. Like, it's just the play calling, it's just that. I feel like there are multiple things that if we could just like turn the dial up a little bit, we'd be nailing it. I just don't think there's one entity yet to blame.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Yeah. I'm not going to point fingers. I think, hopefully, and I do believe this to be true, I assume every week they're doing deep dives on themselves. I do at least trust that this team doesn't have any ego from the coaching staff to the players. And so they're definitely, I'm sure, their own worst critics.
Yeah.
And they're willing to change and adapt. So I'm just hoping
And I
today
think
is one of those days.
I think we as fans, like, we go to the Super Bowl and then we just expect to be 16 or 17-0 this year, right? And it hasn't worked out that way. And I think that that's what has people nervous, is like, oh my gosh, I love that feeling so much, and now I'm worried I'm not going to get to feel it for another 30 years. But what I try to remind myself, and I heard a lot of people talking about this week, is this is exactly where we were this time last season. So there's no reason to be pessimistic about the season. You just hope that they can go on a run this year the way that they did last year. But last year shows that at this point in the season, like, everything's still in play.
Yeah. And I had mentioned too, in the off season, or actually, I think this was during the season when we were going on that incredible run towards the end, and it was playoffs and all of that, to really enjoy it and savor it as a Bengals fan, because this is the only season that we're going to have in this era, like Burrow era, where everything's a pleasant surprise. Everything is far exceeding expectations and all of that. We all as a fan base went in with very minimal expectations. We had hopes. We had high hopes maybe, but expectation wise, pretty low. Like, can we just make it to the playoffs? Like, that kind of thing. And so we obviously exceeded that. And then this year, like, you don't get that luxury ever again, because once we make it to the Super Bowl, now we're like the Chiefs fans a few years ago. Like, now every year the expectation is playoff run,
right,
Super Bowl. Like,
right.
it's completely changed. And so, like, that also means, like, how we gauge success with this team completely changes. So it's just,
I think it's frustrating too, is that, like, if you look at those first 3 losses, they were as bad as we could have played. The other team didn't really try to give it away, and we were still within a field goal of winning, right?
Yeah.
And so you look at the record and you think how easily it could be, a much better record than it is.
Yeah.
And there's parts of that are frustrating. It's just kind of what you said now, that the expectations of fans have changed, but also we're not taking anybody by surprise anymore. So we're going to get all the team's best games. You know what I mean? No one's going to take the Bengals for granted anymore.
There's a target on our back and lots of film to study now.
But I think also what Bengals fans need to be mindful of, we had an incredibly healthy team throughout this season. Like, you think about week 1, we were a Clark Harris away from winning that game.
Right.
Like, we're now...
True.
Think about the plays Hilton made for us. Think about, like, what Awuzie did last year, and really what he's been doing all year. DJ Reader. I mean, I think about DJ and BJ in the Titans game last postseason. So we just have to also be realistic. Healthy teams are the ones who are often able to make it furthest along, and we got real lucky last
Yeah, we did.
year.
Yeah,
And
that's another fantastic point. And here's the thing, like the good news is for most of those guys, not all of them, but for most of those guys, they're coming back to us.
Right.
We have a bye coming up, guys. So like let's just kick the Panthers' ass today or get out with a win. I don't care if it's
Yeah.
ugly and it's by field goal.
yeah,
Like let's beat the Panthers today, get the monkey off our back, go into bye in the same record that we were last season, and then get some of those guys back when we start hitting the hardest part of our schedule. And it's about getting hot at the right time. Like your record has to be good enough, but it's also about getting hot at the right time. And so that's where I still have some optimism, guys, and I want you guys to also have some optimism. Like we're getting those guys back right when we're going to need them the most so that we can hit a hot streak just like we did last season.
Yeah. I think last season too, we had the luxury of the division games. Like it felt like no matter what happened outside the division, like we own the division. We were far and away the best team. The way that we played the Ravens there and here, the way that we played the Steelers, you know what I mean? And then to be 0-3 in the division, I think like kind of like compounds that feeling that you're feeling of like, we're, you know, the games that we're losing that we should win, but they're also division games. That makes it even more frustrating.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think after today, a win is a win, and everybody's have more optimism heading into the bye.
And to your point from earlier in the show, let's bring it back, Josh. It takes so long to get a palate cleanser and feel good again. So please, baby Jesus, let us not go into a bye week and have to struggle for 2 weeks
That's
with a
right.
freaking loss, right?
That's right.
Like hearts can't take it.
I will say, I think we play better when we have less rest time.
Mm-hmm.
I like us on a Sunday to Thursday. I'll take a Monday to 1 o'clock game on Sunday. If you look at us historically, not historically, but maybe over the last 5-6 years, the Bengals don't do as well coming off of long rest.
We overthink it? Do you think we overthink it?
I don't know if we overthink it. I don't know if people's muscles get a little stiff and ache. I don't know what it is. But I like us with shorter rest times. I feel like we seem to be more on.
Well, all I know is get the dub today so that we can have 2 weeks of just like not freaking out and losing our minds. That would be great. Thank you, Bengals. Appreciate it. That's all I ask. How about we pick some games together, guys? All right. So everybody in the chat, you guys can also help us pick. Let me find what games we're picking. So let's go ahead and officially say Bengals, Panthers. Are we all picking Bengals?
Yes.
Or no?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Bengals.
I don't like how you said that, Bridget.
At this juncture, I'm a little bit worried, but Awuzie is my dude. Like I love him, and
he's fantastic.
That tear just tore my soul. So I'm gonna go Bengals. I'm not gonna go Bengals by a lot.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Next game, guys. Let's go ahead and talk our division rival, Ravens. They play the good old Saints today. So what do we think? Bridget, you can go first.
I'm going to go Ravens. The Saints have been good. The Saints have been bad. They are playing in New Orleans, which we love. And we found that we can also, an AFC North team can go into the Mushroom Superdome, whatever it is, and win. So I'm going to go Ravens.
I'm going to just put it out into the universe that the Saints are going to win this game because I want the Saints to win this game, and we're not actually betting real money on it. So I'm going to say Saints. I do feel like the Ravens were one team that Andy Dalton actually found ways to win against every now and then. So I don't know if he's playing today or if Winston's playing today, but just for the sake of optimism, I'm gonna hope that the Saints hang an L on the Ravens.
Somebody in the chat, please look it up and confirm if Dalton's playing today. But if Dalton is playing today, I go with Meg's comment. Dalton owns the Ravens. Dalton historically is a Ravens killer. I don't know what happens to Andy Dalton when he plays the Ravens. If Harbaugh like did something dirty to him, I would love to know that story probably. So I think I'm going to go with Josh and just try to do the optimistic thing and put it out in the universe. Try to manifest.
Yeah, manifest.
So maybe I should change, because that's what, like, I want to make it clear. I don't pick our divisional opponents to win because I want them to. I'm just going by what
You're being realistic, which is no one wants that.
My gut tells me the Ravens might pull it out.
Also, I'm picking the Saints because I do think the Ravens probably will win if I was going with the smart thing. And Bridget, I feel like you owe Tyler from last week, that Steelers pick or whatever. I think that you owe him. So this will allow you to get him back in the standings a little bit. So that's really why I'm doing it.
I'm sorry, Tyler.
And for the sake of manifesting.
I really did think that the Steelers could maybe do it. I thought we'd have a weird football week, and we didn't. Well, we did, but it was our game.
We sure did. We sure did. Just in a very different way. Okay, so we got 2 Saints and a Ravens. I'll take it. Go Saints. Who dat? Gross. I hate saying that.
Ew. Wait. Wash your mouth out.
Sorry.
Yeah. Cleanse that palate.
Moving right along. Bills at Jets. So get us started, Josh. What do you think with this game?
Which Zach Wilson is showing up today? Because I feel like that's the Jets are either all right, they might start to turn the corner as a franchise, or same old Jets. I go Bills. I just like Josh Allen way too much, and I think he's got a chip on his shoulder this year. And so I wouldn't pick against the Bills really in any game this year until January 3rd.
Ooh, I like that. What up, Bridget?
I go Bills. I don't know what else. I mean, Josh said it all. The Jets, much like the Saints, except better, have been good. They've been bad. I think the Bills, I would say the Bills at least by 12.
Ooh.
Okay.
You know what? I was very tempted to take the Jets in this game just because I love being contrary. This is why I'm not a good bettor, guys.
Yeah.
Jesus. Like, because I have that, like, rebellion side in my head that refuses to go away, where I'm like, screw it, the Jets are going to spoil them. I'm going to go with Buffalo, but I also don't think it's going to be by 12. I think it could be a closer game than that. I think the Jets are, like, really galvanized right now and really trying to set the world on fire. I think they bring their A game today, but I don't think they are going to be able to pull it off. So give me the Bills.
I mean, if you asked me who has the most handsome coach, the Jets would win.
Oh, that was not on the ballot, but now we know.
Just threw it out there, just to give the Jets a little something.
I do like the nickname Zach Milfson. I heard that a couple weeks ago, and I'm a fan of that nickname.
Yeah, I mean, put your mamas out there, distract them. That's one game plan. Hide your moms. Who you got? Titans at Chiefs. Oh, guys, this one, again, I want to be contrary and say Titans, but I think the Chiefs are going to win today, and it makes me want to throw up in my mouth, to be honest. But what do you think, Bridget?
I mean, we had 2 5-2 teams. They were, 1-2 in the AFC? Is that right? Last year? I can't say the Titans because when I think about the Chiefs games I've watched this season and the Titans games I've watched this season, the Chiefs just seem like they're outplaying what the Titans are bringing on the field. So I'm going Chiefs.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the Chiefs. I think we're seeing that Patrick Mahomes has that sort of Tom Brady quality about him.
Oh, God, Josh.
Let me tell you why I feel that way. Is he had Tyreek Hill, and when I heard that Tyreek Hill was leaving the Chiefs, I was like, well, there goes the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
But he's still putting up the same numbers with whoever his wide receivers are. And, I mean, they have an amazing O-line, which helps that. And I just think he's that good. And at home, I just can't see you picking anybody but the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's at their nasty stadium with their nasty fans. I'm not even going to apologize for those statements because it's just true and we all freaking know it. But yeah, I think it's going to Chiefs. I thought so too about the Tyreek Hill move though.
He's got Travis Kelce and what those two can do together. I mean, that's our Burrow and Chase, right? Like, I feel like
Kinda.
Mahomes and Kelce just make magic.
There is some magic there, and it's obviously unstoppable because every team that plays them knows to game plan for it, and they can't stop it.
Yeah. That's what
Doesn't
frustrates me
matter.
about our play calling is that that's one of those teams I was talking about where it's like there are so many people who know exactly what these teams are going to do, what Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, you know what I mean, what they're going to do, and they still make the completions. They still have the targets. And it's like we have to figure that out.
Yeah. Well, all right. So we're all going Chiefs, and I think that we're all probably going to be right on that one. It looks like the chat overwhelmingly agrees with us too. So last game that we're going to call today, a fun one, Lions at Packers. What's going to happen in Green Bay? Josh, tell us.
I'm going to side with you on this. I'm going to go Lions. I just feel like something's going on in Green Bay and they're just not
And it
figuring
ain't
it
good.
out, and the Lions are sneaky. Like they're a little bit streaky right now, but I like some of their young players, and somehow Jared Goff is putting up some numbers this year. I don't know. I like the Lions to surprise people today.
All right. Bridget?
So, Josh, I am from Michigan. I haven't lived there in 10 years, but that is my home state. And the Lions are my second team. And I also despise Aaron Rodgers. We need to make that very clear. I despise him. Seeing him face down on the field at the end of it, that gives me life. And this Lions team, y'all, they are blowing leads. They are, as much as I want to say the Lions, and I'm so close to joining you, Josh, I feel like my rational brain says Green Bay.
It's a smarter pick. You're right. It's a smarter pick, especially at Green Bay.
I don't think the Lions have figured out how to string a complete game together for a win, and that's why they only have one win.
I just think you're wrong today. I think
I'm sorry, Dalton. It was cold, but it's true.
it was very cold. How you gonna do your Lions like that, girl?
I don't want to.
Tyler's mad at you.
I don't want to. And like the greatest joy I could have today is it. So sometimes I think I'm like hedging my bets, these not real bets, because I wouldn't know how to bet if it like kicked me in the face. But like if I'm right and the Packers win, I get the joy of being right. If they lose and the Lions win, I get the joy of the Lions winning. So I feel like I hedged it a little.
Oh, whatever. Here's what I think. I think this is the bowl of like who implodes the worst, because that's what happens with these teams. Both these teams, like they both implode. They figure out ways to lose. They figure out ways to screw it up at the last minute, and it's who does that worse. And at the end of the day, I think that there is too much mold on that cheese head in Green Bay this year. Aaron Rodgers is past his due date. There is some fuzz on that cheese. And so I don't think he's figured out how to have a high-powered offense, which is what his bread and butter was for years. He could put up points in the last 3 seconds of the game if he had to, and I don't think he's got that in his arsenal this season. There's just too much dysfunction, to be quite honest, and then something missing. And then Lions are able to score like crazy. They still figure out how to lose, but they can score like crazy. I just don't think that Packers are going to keep up with them today.
Lions don't have Hawkinson anymore.
I know that is a factor. But I think Rodgers is the opposite of what we just talked about. I was curious to see how he would react, like what his record and numbers were going to look like losing Devontae Adams, because he's always been spoiled with at least one stud, right? Donald Driver or somebody like that. And then this is the first year where he doesn't have like a dude, and I feel like it's showing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do too. Yeah, it's not Gouda.
Your
I'm so
cheese
sorry, guys.
and
love
mold
it.
puns are next level with.
I haven't
love
even
them.
unleashed the worst of it, guys. I can't do it today. All right. Well, so we got our picks in. I want to thank you, Josh, for spending the morning with us. But before, I let you go today, can you give us a little inside scoop on Cincy Shirts? What's going on there right now? You guys have some of my favorite gear, not just for Bengals. You have some of my favorite Bengals gear, but definitely a lot of my favorite Cincinnati hometown pride, iconic gear.
Well, I appreciate that. We've been, it's just crazy the way that we've grown. We have 3 stores now. So, especially on game days or the day before, come see us. We're at Hyde Park over the Rhine, and now we're on the Kentucky side in Fort Mitchell. We can print in the store. So if you come in and we don't have what you want right on the shelf, there's a good chance we can make it for you in a couple minutes while you wait.
No way.
We have a lot of fun stuff coming up for the holidays, obviously. And one particular product that you guys know about because I shared it with you, but I can't you talk too much about it yet. But this week, sometime this week, we will let you know about a gift that is a must-have for any Bengals fan. And
really
so follow Cincy Shirts and look for that. Hopefully by the end of this week, we'll be talking about it. And then on a personal note, I don't do a ton of shows in Cincinnati because I want them to kind of space out and feel sort of special, so to speak. So I have one coming up the night before Thanksgiving at the Funny Bone up in Westchester. And there's only a couple tickets left, but if you want to come see the stand-up, I'll be doing it on that Wednesday here in a couple weeks. So grab a ticket, and hopefully I'll see you all out there that night.
That's exciting. God, why did I leave Cincinnati?
Yeah, why? Come back.
I know. Bridget, you got to go to that. You guys, go see Josh in stand-up. That is a rare occasion. So that's exciting. And yeah, I cannot emphasize enough. You guys need to follow Cincy Shirts. I'm sure all of you are already. I've been following them forever. But what me and Bridget saw this morning, it cannot be overstated how freaking awesome it is.
No, it can't.
It's really great.
I won't say a word about it, but it will blow your mind. And I'm very excited for it to be released into the wild. So
thank you all for having me, by the way. I will come on anytime that you'll have me. It's been my pleasure. So thank you.
Thanks,
we appreciate
Josh.
it. Have fun tailgating today.
Thanks.
Hooday.
Hooday. Oh, that was awesome.
It made me want to shop.
Oh, I'm shopping today. That's exactly what's happening.
Good.
Yeah.
Send me what you get. There's a tie-dyed Bengals tee he's got.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Which is also next week, I think it's Mad Tree is doing a Bengals tie-dye party for the bye week. Yeah. I have tickets because
nice.
I'm a hippie at heart, and the thought of spending my day doing orange and black tie-dye sounds amazing.
That does sound amazing. And you know what? I've been on the hunt. Kayla, K-12s, has some of my favorite, and Jess too, tie-dye Bengals gear, and it is always something that I wanted, and I haven't bought any yet. I have zero.
There's
tie-dye
a really
Bengals
cool
stuff.
tie-dye. It's gray and black tie-dye Bengals shirt on Cincy Shirts. If we win today, maybe I'll just stick it in my cart.
If we win.
When we win.
You need to really watch yourself today, Bridget.
I know. I'm trying to not have that Monday night.
Channel your Little Miss Game Day attitude. Could be a Debbie Downer.
I know. You're right.
Maybe this will fix it. Let's get drunk with that.
Yep. Tastes like winning.
Guys, I cannot tell you. I watched this last night, Matt's signature cocktail video for today. Not only is it perfect for today, but I died a little laughing. So I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I did. Bridget, you haven't seen this
I haven't
yet.
seen it. I'm ready.
Okay, let's do it. Here's Matt, guys.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Game Day Cocktails. I'm your host Matt, aka Bengals and Bourbon. It's week 9. We're playing the Carolina Panthers. We're going to move on after that Monday night game. That was not a fun one to watch by any means. So we're going to follow it up with a good stiff drink, right? We did lose a fair amount of people that week against the Browns. It seems like we're going in with a hodgepodge of players, some backups, some rookies. But that's why I picked the theme of this drink, a Long Island iced tea. You're going to throw in a little bit of everything, but it turns out to be pretty damn good, and I think that's what we're going to have for this week against the Panthers. So you start off with some vodka, some gin, some tequila, some rum, triple sec, a little sweet and sour mix, and then we're going to put it all in a shaker. We're going to shake it up, and then we're pouring it into a glass. So let's just get it started. We're supposed to do about a half ounce per drink, or per liquor, I'm sorry. I'm going to do a little, that's close enough. Tequila, really doesn't matter which order you go into, with which ones you do, they just got to get them all in. And then I didn't have any clear rum, so we're using a little spiced rum, because why not? Put a little Captain in it, you know? There's a little more of that. Get some quality gin. A little gin there. And we got our triple sec here. About a half an ounce of that. There we go. Some sweet and sour mix. Doesn't seem like it's ever ending. Of course, it's going to have the peel top. We got it off. That's a little more. All right. Put the top on the shaker. We're going to shake off that loss, Bengals fans, okay? Shake it off. All right. Seems pretty good. Get this thing open. Pour it on in there. Oh, yeah. A little short. That's okay. We're going to add in the ice. Now, you can do this if you want for color or taste. Add a little Coke. I'm going to. Oh, shit! Okay, well, that wasn't planned, but we're going to go with it. All right, we'll put the Coke in there. All right, let's give this a taste. Yep, tastes like winning.
Someone needs to send him a terrible towel to just mop that mess right up.
Right? I heard his wife, I think, giggling in the background at the very end. And so I told Matt my conspiracy theory is that his wife totally set him up on that one.
She just shook that bottle up. That drink made my stomach hurt, but also looked excellent. I feel like gut rot will ensue.
Right. I watched him make that. I realized I never really fully realized or appreciated what all went into a Long Island iced tea. And I have decided that I absolutely could not handle even a half of one. But there you go, guys. I think if we win, since it's a bye week, you can go ahead and enjoy as many Long Island iced teas as you want. If we lose, you can drown your sorrows in that. But drink responsibly. I feel like I should have to say that right now. Anyways, thank you, Matt, for the cocktail. Thank you to your wife for the laughs, because I just know she did that to you. She shook that bottle. So I think now is a good time to listen to our friend Meg. Like, first of all, I love you, Meg, for doing this every week, teaching us a little bit of sign language. I hope you guys have done what I've done. Like, I have practiced like every week, and I feel like I've retained everything. Have you retained everything, Bridget? Like, that she's taught so far?
I am trying to retain everything. I have like the hand-eye coordination of a 2-day-old donkey, so I'm like doing my best. But I remember this football. Mm-hmm. Who day?
No,
this is Bengals. Uday. Yeah. So I'm.
And Rule.
Oh, I loved that. See, I need
Yeah.
to go back. I loved Rule of the Jungle.
Tell
That
me
was
if
my
I did
favorite.
okay, Meg. I'm trying, girl. All right, so let's go ahead and see what she's got in store for us this week. That's awesome.
That's awesome. And I hope we do less of this and more of this. That's what I want today.
Right. I mean the touchdown. I feel like all of these are like so easy to remember this week. Like, I mean, field goal is like, right? Like,
And
it
then
makes visual sense to me, which I need. The more things make visual sense to me, the easier I'm going to remember them. But Dalton, what the hell is that word, dude? Gunal sheesh? Now you got to teach me words? I'm going to be like trilingual before this show's done this season. Thanks, Dalton. Yes, Lisa. Thank you, Meg. Meg, I think this is thank you, right? Like that. So thank you, Meg. We love you too. Yeah, we love you too. All right. So Bridget, what else you got before you go down to the tailgate today? What else you got for us, girl?
I think that's it. If anyone is headed to a tailgate, I would encourage you to stop by Bengal Trailer because I wrote a special toast for today. So you'll have to
And
come.
it's good. Is it the one you sent me?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Yeah, guys,
you'll
go
have to
there.
you'll have to raise your glass, whether it be a beer, that weird vodka, Red Bull stuff on tap, or one of those weird shots they have. Whatever it is, come raise your glass, do a toast with me. My mother-in-law, father-in-law, and brother-in-law are currently at the tailgates with my husband, so we're also going to show them how to have one hell of a hooday time.
Oh, guys, go to Bengal Trailer. Take your shot with Bridge. Also, special shout out to Cincy Zach, who is going to the game today at the Betfred Suite, dude.
Nice! Oh, he's gonna have a game. I'm
Yes.
jealous.
I want all the pictures. I want all the videos. He'll probably not remember to do that because he'll be living his best life today, but hopefully he does. Yeah, so I'm excited about that for him. And Bridget, like, show those in-laws the time of their life. Make them do a gas can to the face at Bengal Trailer.
Oh, so my brother-in-law's wearing a Lions jersey because like they're all from Michigan, and I said you are getting a gas can to the face. I don't think he knows what that is. I think he thinks a Bengals fan may hit him with a gas can, and I like that like Schrodinger's cat
Valid.
moment of not really knowing what this is, but we're gonna make him do one.
Oh, yes. All right, guys. Thanks to everybody who came by and hung out with us this morning. Thank God for daylight savings today and falling back. Who day to you, Meg? Who day to everybody? Let's get this dub today and then relax. Have a beautiful bye week that we can all enjoy. But anyways, I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Oh, and we love you, Tyler. Come
We
back
love you,
next week.
Tyler. We definitely don't hope you stay there forever. That's not what we're hoping. No, we're
Ignore
excited to see him back.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys. Who day?
Who day?